me of what happened between 2015, 2016, and 2017. DSS. In 2021, there were attacks. Mazi, I am aware the army killed a lot of people. Mazi, the movement I lead is not violent. DSS, your instruction lead to jailbreak, etc. Mazi, my reaction remains that we are not violent. DSS, when you were arrested, Mazi interjects, I wasn't arrested, I was kidnapped. DSS, what's your relationship with ESN? Mazi, ESN is a vigilante group that exists everywhere in Biafra land. Now, to continue, here. So another audio broadcast is set to be played in court where Mazi Nnamdi Kanu was said the following in quotes. Now, another audio. Nobody can stop us. Ojukwu said it long ago. We are unstoppable, and our enemies know this. We are sensitizing our people. Now, talking how Igbos were forcibly taken into other regions to further divide us. So the witness now. So the broadcast was to confirm whether or not he made the broadcast. So back again to that audio, the interviewer from that audio. This was after, again, whenever I mention back to the audio, I'm referring to the interview he had with the DSS the day he was returned back to Nigeria after they kidnapped him in Kenya. So when I say back to the audio, you sure remember that, right? So back to the audio. The DSS said, you said, kill them. Mazi, would you support security agents killing people? With a question mark. DSS, no. So the DSS said, what about the sit-at-home orders of 30th May? Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, you are ascribing powers to me that I do not have, or should I say, I lack. Is it when I say, let there be light, and there will be light? So this time, back into the courtroom. So the witness added. So what we are asking him is why he asked people not to go out on the 30th of May. And as a result, people died. So the prosecution now. Ahmed Gulak and his assassination in the southeast. Just like drop it into the conversation. So Omotosho now interjects. I do not have such name here. It is not on the record. You get that now? Like, we do not actually have any record that Nnamdi Kanu is linked, or IPOB or ESN is linked to the killing or the killing of our assassination of Ahmed Gulak in Owerri by their fellow political sort of like rivals. So we don't have that here. Don't just drop that. Like, oh, you can just say, oh yeah, the ESN killed Gulak. You did not tell us that you have evidence of that to link him to it. So you don't just drop that in this conversation. That was the judge. So now the video continues this time. So they said the video continues playing. So Mazi Nnamdi Kanu educating the DSS on how political issues should be resolved and how people interpret information differently. So in that video, now back to the video. Mazi, nobody is insane or mad. So why this obsession of killing people? In a democracy, people must have a way of channeling their grievances. And one of them is to protest. DSS, on a lighter note, tell me about your background, education, career, family. Which state in Nigeria are you from? Mazi, Abia State. DSS, after you left Nigeria, Mazi interjects, no, I saved my life. DSS, where have you been and what were you doing there? Mazi, it is my business. I like that. DSS, what is the job of ESN? Mazi, they are in the bush protecting our people. DSS insists, what is the job of ESN? Mazi, as I previously stated, They are there to protect our people, our mothers, when they go to farms. Continue. So, in conclusion, right, it says that Mazi, Nnamdi Kanu's trial will now actually be adjourned. Well, it's kind of like adjourned to the 14th, 21st, and 22nd of May. But they said Nnamdi Kanu and his special counsel dialogues on issues shortly after Mazi Nnamdi Kanu continues in that video they are playing. Again, it says, the invasion of my house was unnecessary. I was in touch with Igbo men I had respect for. Whoever authorized the invasion of my house is the real enemy. So video clip ends and it was admitted as exhibit. So then the judge said, are you playing anything else? The prosecution says, no, my lord. Then the prosecution says, witness, is this the letter received from the Attorney General? The witness replied, yes, it is. So the Attorney General's letter admitted as Exhibit G. The witness also requested the letter be read before court. So witness reading Attorney General's letter to court hearing and subsequent statements. So witness PW2 BBB reading the letter. So in that letter, I want to read it out, okay, quickly. So it says, prosecution, Mr. Kanu, do you have any statement to make with regards to the content of the recently read letter? Mazi, I do not wish to make any statement on the letter from the Office of Attorney General of the Federation. And the judge, if your name is not on the list and you are in court, get out right away, or else you'll be charged with contempt. That's kind of like another scenario that played out in that courtroom. So then the witness continued, right? Continues his testimony. He said, apart from taking videos and writing against the defendant, I have worked in investigating IPOB, Mazi, Nnamdi Kanu, and ESN. MNK founded Radio Biafra, ESN, and others. We discovered that the Lagos High Court, the Ilasamaja Police Station, and the Muritala Mohammed Airport had all been burnt down, particularly in 2020. He not only called for the killing of police officers, but he also advocated for sit-at-home and instructed his followers to strictly enforce it. Lies. Even as Gulak was killed, Kanu questioned why he went out knowing that there would be sitting at home on May 30th. So then the witness goes on to name states classified as part of the Biafra region proposed by Nnamdi Kanu. So then the witness, PW2BBB, ended his latest testimony. However, the defense has proposed to go into full cross-examination of witness on Wednesday. That will be the 14th, okay? So while they gather information on whether or not those who were killed were as a result of MNK broadcast or not, or other causes. So although, from this report, right, so it was concluded that from the 14th of May, there will be the Mazi Nnamdi Kanu's team questioning the first two witnesses who gave their own false witnesses. The same, make I remind all of you, whatever you are hearing right now is not new. This same old thing, right, that they conjured together, right, to try to link him to any of their politically sponsored violence in that eastern part of Nigeria. They've done it severally, right? But the last time they did, the same Nigerian court, their own court, struck out the entire thing, released Nnamdi Kanu, like freed him, just that they didn't let him go, unfortunately, right? So don't let any of this sort of like sway you. So his own lawyers believes that, number one, they do not really have any case against him than all the conjecture. So yeah, people listen to you. You told them to, you know what I mean? Like, that's not enough. So by next week, which then we are going to see Nnamdi Kanu's lawyers present their own sort of like a defense, exhibit evidence of the state-sponsored attacks and the killings, the profiling of the Igbos, and on and on and on, and then shred all these faceless witnesses to bits. So we look forward to that. As some of them who claim that Nnamdi Kanu is more dangerous, especially those ones who defended Boko Haram, while Boko Haram and his murderous people were slaughtering Nigerians with reckless abandon. Today, they are back to tell us that Nnamdi Kanu was actually right. These terrorists and their sponsor, right? They stand and continue to kind of like stand as a general threat to our well-being. Here are these two lawmakers, because yesterday it was the senators discussing the insecurity in Nigeria. Today it was the turn of the House of Representatives. These two guys, one is from Borno, the other is from God knows where, telling the Senate of how the security architecture of Nigeria has completely collapsed and how the terrorists have regrouped, have become so powerful and so sophisticated that they have better weapons than the Nigerian army. They've overwhelmed them. You know what? We'll go to their National Assembly again, where they are discussing the same security problems that Mazi and Nnamdi Kanu envisaged years ago. Years ago.
Amendments or observations or comments? I start with Honorable Gadi. I'm from Plateau State. Mr. Speaker, you will only understand the heaviness of the content of this motion if we are privileged to see the picture of what Boko Haram did to Giwa barracks and other attacks within military formations in Borno State. Mr. Speaker, the pictures I saw, I am scared. I am scared whether the safety of the Nigerian civilians within the Nigerian territorial land can be guaranteed. Mr. Speaker, we budgeted for money, arms and ammunition, tanks numbering more than 40, including other platforms that belongs to the Nigerian military that is aimed at safeguarding our people, have been taken away worth trillions of naira by Boko Haram. How can we guarantee the safety of the Nigerian people in the circumstance that the platform that are meant to protect these people have been taken away by the enemies of the people? Mr. Speaker, we have been doing our best under your leadership. The National Assembly have been speaking on issues of insecurity. But Mr. Speaker, actions by departments of government must be taken. Mr. President must hold Nigerian military strategic commandants and other head of security agencies accountable for negligence of their responsibility. In as much as we appreciate, Mr. Speaker, the security agencies for putting their life at the front line to protect Nigerians, to make sure Nigerians sleep, we must hold somebody accountable that taxpayers' money used to buy guns, used to buy other platform for Nigerian military to fight, will be compromised and be donated like a form of free of charge to the enemies of this country. Mr. Speaker, this is unacceptable. I want to say again and again, Nigerians are being killed on daily basis from the north to the south, to the west, to the east, and we are here for Nigerians. Mr. Speaker, government must do the needful. The everyday resolution that we pass is not enough. Mr. Speaker, if it means facing agencies of government as a National Assembly to ensure that publicly we bring them to account for their responsibility and to account for their negligence of responsibility, we have to do that. Mr. Speaker, I will send you intelligence of the picture of the arms and ammunition, of the platforms that have been taken away by Boko Haram in Maiduguri. And when the leaders, when the governor is crying, other representatives of government are first to issue statement undermining the supremacy of the chief security officer of the state, who knows what is happening in his state, who is crying, and someone within the comfort of his zone will say that the governor is raising an unnecessary alarm, whereas Nigerians are killing. This is unacceptable. Mr. Speaker, we must stand up and find a way of bringing this issue of insecurity to order. Otherwise, you and I is not safe. No matter how Nigerians respect us, we are moving to a level that Nigerians will fight us the way they fight criminals and the way they fight Boko Haram. Until the right thing is done by us here, until we speak for the Nigerian people, until we draw line, until we tell government what we are supposed to tell government, and until government respond by action, not by media statement or press statement. Do not hope, Mr. Speaker, that any member of a National Assembly is safe to move, not by bandit, not by Boko Haram, by the people that elected you and I. Time will come, if action is not taken, that Nigerians will take their destinies in their own hands. Thank you, Mr. Speaker, for giving me the opportunity to speak. Amendments or...
What shall I say unto the Lord?
Yes, Lord.
All I have to say,
Thank you, Lord.
What
shall I say? Thank you, Lord.
You know, once in a while, they actually do remind themselves that this thing, where will they do? So, this thing we are doing, a day is coming. One day, you see all of us, Masario, ìgbà kan máa dé, àsìkò kan ṣì ń bọ̀ wá, ìgbà kan máa dé, àsìkò kan ṣì ń bọ̀ wá, tolóró máa sáré, ayé máa sáré, ọlọ́pàá máa sáré, sójà máa sáré, gbogbo wa pátá máa sáré. The time is coming and they know.
ìgbà kan máa dé, àsìkò kan ṣì ń bọ̀ wá, ìgbà kan máa dé, àsìkò kan ṣì ń bọ̀ wá, tolóró máa sáré, ọlọ́pàá máa sáré, ayé máa sáré, ẹyẹ tí ò dúró rere máa sáré, àlórà máa sáré, hs tí kò mọ kankan máa sáré, everybody máa sáré, gbogbo wa pátá máa sáré, ìgbà yẹn ti dé, àsìkò yẹn náà là wá. Ìgbà yẹn ti dé, àsìkò yẹn náà là wá, everybody máa sáré, ọlọ́pàá máa sáré, àwọn tó ń ṣòro gan máa sáré, olúmọlẹ̀ máa sáré, àpènà máa sáré, olúwo ìlú gan máa sáré, everybody pátápátá máa sáré.
Sáré, ìwọ gan máa sáré, ayé máa sáré, everybody máa sáré o. And exactly what this woman is also saying to her, it is obvious that this insecurity has overwhelmed the supposed Nigerian security, the army. In our own words, brethren.
From Borno State, Mr. Speaker, thank you for the opportunity to contribute to this all very important issue that is on the floor of the House. Mr. Speaker, in my contribution to what Honorable Satomi Ahmed has presented as a motion on the fire outbreak in Giwa Barracks. First and foremost, Mr. Speaker, the issue of the fire outbreak in Giwa Barracks is contradicting. Some quarters were saying that the fire outbreak
can you sit down, please?
is as a result of Boko Haram attack.
Can you sit down, please?
We are given the impression that a fire outbreak came as a result of either a power surge or whatever within the barracks. Because on that particular day, there hasn't been any Boko Haram attack in Maiduguri. And Mr. Speaker, from March to this time. In my own constituency, Mr. Speaker, in Wulgo, there has been a Boko Haram attack on military formation of the multinational joint task force where more than 20 soldiers were killed. And Mr. Speaker, it will interest you to know that I visited that formation and the commander told me that out of about nearly 100 soldiers in that formation, we have only 6 Nigerian soldiers. And it is a multinational joint task force where we expect to have, if not equal number, at least substantive number of Nigerian military men in that formation. And again, Mr. Speaker, the commanding officer of that formation revealed and confessed that it wasn't the first or the second time that formation has been attacked, but on that very day, that was on the 24th of March,